I'm Anna, and this week I'm trying to find the perfect formula for the cozy fantasy genre. I've always been interested in cozy fantasy book, but that's also not a subgenre that I'm reaching for every day. So what I want when I'm looking at a cozy fantasy book is an easy win. I don't want to take a chance on it. And unfortunately, I've read a few and they've been good, but there's not been this special feeling when I was reading them. I've read The Dollar Good Trim Department Store by Mia Lee and I liked it, but it wasn't a favorite. I also read Legend and Lattes by Travis Baldree. Once again, it was a pleasant experience, but not a favorite. Look at the pastries on the sides. That's so cute. They were always missing something that I could not express and I could not find, and I didn't know what was wrong with them. But because I don't read cozy fantasy every day, and this is definitely not my main genre, I wanted to be able to select the book I read better so I enjoy them more. So I selected 4 markers that are often found in reviews of those books and that doesn't spoil the book and can help me find the perfect combination and maybe help you find yours. So, what are the 4 markers? So, the first one is setting and small town charm. This is about how the world building is, how we are in this little small town, and how is it? How is the atmosphere? This is one of the most important factor, I think, in cozy fantasy. The second marker is fun, family, and community. Both are important and not the same. And I think cozy fantasy heavily lean on this. And I think it was interesting to put a marker on this. 3 is stakes or no stakes. Cozy fantasy, you want to feel like a hug. You want to take your hot drink, your blanket, and just enjoy the moment you are in the book. You don't want world ending catastrophes to happen. So I feel it's important to keep the stakes low, and I will be reporting on that with this reading log. And the fourth one is comfort. It could be talking about food or making drinks, doing hobbies like painting, decorating, knitting, something that is just comforting, coloring, for example. With those 4 cozy markers, I can determine what are the markers that matters to me and help me find my next 5 stars. And I hope that those markers can help you too. And maybe your cursor will be different than mine, but hopefully this video will also help you find your new best read. The first book I'll be reading is The Grimoire Grammar School Parent-Teacher Association by Caitlin Rozakis. We follow Vivian and her 5-year-old daughter that had been bitten by a werewolf. The family discovers there is a whole magical world and they move to a magical small town. Arya, the little kid, is enrolled in an elite private magical school. Her mom, Vivian, is going to be in the PTA. And we are going to see what happens with them. So I'm going to make a quick prediction about the markers. I think the setting and small town vibe, they are getting, I think, a 4 or 5. They are moving to a small town. So already you know in the synopsis that the feeling is going to be there. Fun, family, and community. I hope they do. Like there are humans suddenly discovering the magical world. So the community aspect is going to play a large role. The stakes, they will be pretty low. This is about a school. The kids is like 5-year-old, so there is no big thing happening. I am a bit curious about comfort. You want to say hi? Sorry. Hi, say hi. Comfort, I am curious about this because there is nothing in the synopsis that makes it having particular comforting hobbies. Coming in at 50% for a check-in, I was a bit surprised that we jumped directly after moving in the magical town with the family. We didn't start the book with the attack of the werewolf with Arya. It already happened. I was a bit surprised by this. Maybe because I thought the parents were going to argue back and forth if they wanted to make the move into the magical town, but that already happened. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit worried that I was going to check in with a negative feedback because everything was going wrong to the point I really felt resigned that the situation will never go better for Vivian. Fortunately, like just at the 50% mark where I stopped, we have two little wins, two little things that goes right for Vivian, and it felt such an accomplishment. I was so happy for her and way more relieved that I would have been if everything else wasn't so negative. But it made me change a bit my opinion about the book and made me want to continue. About the markers, I will adjust that for now. I don't see a lot of the small town setting. We are told we live in the small town, but we don't really enjoy the small town feeling. Fun family and community is catastrophic. Like this is a zero. If we could do negative, I think we would be able to do negative point for this. There is no found family and community aspect. Even in the family, things are going wrong. This is a bit of a black cloud at the moment. The stakes also are not very big, but because we are following Vivian and for her, the stakes are so big and she's so stressed and we feel her stress and her anxiety. We are also feeling the stress, the anxiety of the stakes of the story. So it feels higher than it is. Comfort, like I predicted, I don't see a lot of comfort. This book feels like we are rushing. Like she is always on the move. She always has to do something. We're not enjoying ourselves. We're not having a cute family day. We are not having those calm moments. I finished the Grimoire Grammar School PTA by Kathleen Rozakis and gave it 4 stars. I feel like it reads more like a rom-com about a stuffy elite small town private school which has magic. Magic and fantasy is very light. Let's get on the final marker score. Setting and small town charm. We are at an elite magical school in a small magical town, but we don't really explore the town. We get the vibe everyone knows everyone. I think I would give it a 3. On the fan family and community aspect, I feel like these parts are very late in the book. We don't feel a found family or community at all for like 80% of the book. In the end, you feel the community, but I feel like it's too little too late. We didn't see anything happen on page that makes it a community. That's just acceptance at the end of the book. We'd give it a 1. Stakes or no stakes. So the higher score is, the less stakes you have. In the big picture, this is not catastrophic. This is parents trying to give their kids the best education they can. But Vivian, our main character, is so stressed. The whole book, she is so stressed that you are feeling it with her. This is third person point of view, but I still felt everything that Vivian felt along this book. This is not a big stakes, but because you feel the stress so much that the characters encounter, I feel like it was higher than it was. I would give it a 2. And comfort, this is where this is a bit tricky. We don't really see hobbies, food, pets, little shops. We get a glimpse sometimes, and this is more the magic that does the work, but really you don't have any kind of comfort scene that you really want to see. So that's a 0. This book is not scoring very high on the marker, but I still really enjoyed it. I felt like the characters really sell the stressful situation, and you are rooting for her, and the small wins feels like your small wins. The payoff is really great. Like when it all comes down, you're like, yes, you're happy for the characters. But is this what I'm looking for with cozy fantasy? This is way more rom-commy than this is cozy fantasy for me. This is also very, very light on the cozy fantasy. We are in a world, only magical aspect are the people. It doesn't really feel like I'm transported anywhere. This is a satire of elite culture and school politics, and this was very funny in some way. I enjoyed the book, but I don't feel like I could recommend this easily for a cozy fantasy book. And I feel like if you like rom-com and you just want like this little sprinkle of magic on it, this one for you. Let's see if I have a better chance with my next read. I decided for my second book to read Can't Spell Treason Without T by Rebecca Thorne. This is the first book in the Toms and Tea series, and I might say that I've been influenced because I think the titles in the later books are just amazing. Like Tea You at the Altar, like I've seen it everywhere. I just want to partake. Also, the cover is fantastic. Like, this is just cozy vibes, a fireplace, the books. And the other reason I decided to pick this one for my next read, it's because I feel like I'm sure I'm getting what I wanted, which is a fantasy and a little shop. Yeah, I just want a little shop. This is what I qualify as cozy fantasy. You have to tend a shop. I don't care. Book, pastries, coffee, tea, flowers. Just have one shop. What is Can Spell Treason Without Tea about? Reina is a Queen's Guard, and after something happened while she was doing her work, she's done. And she wants to run away. And she has a girlfriend, Kianth. She is a very powerful mage, and they have this long distance relationship. After the event Reina experienced, they run away to a small town to open their dream bookshop and tea room. And they try to keep a low profile because obviously since they fled, they just want to live a slow life. Let's do the marker prediction. Setting and small town vibe, I'm already thinking that we are getting a lot more world building fantasy than the previous book. Also think that because we are going to be in a small mountain town, we are going to see the small town vibe. I predict very high in this category. Fun family and community is going to be interesting. I think community, especially in small town, easily can be created, but we'll see. Stakes. This is where I am a bit worried because the jobs that they had previously are very important job, and I don't want the job to take too much center space. Comfort. I expect very high of this. I want tea, I want pastries, I want books, I want something like I have very high expectation on the comfort part for this book. I just took a break at the 15% mark for Can Spell Treason Without Tea, and I thought I would be giving some thoughts. The 31st%, I was enjoying a lot. I do really like the renovation aspect of this book, but once this was done, it started. That's why I'm worried making this check in. Once the renovation have been done, I am worried where the story is going to land. I thought I was going to enjoy the day to day of the shop, but this is not really the case. Also, the stakes are steadily getting higher and higher, and I'm worried the stakes are going to be too much. The romance part, however, I wasn't sure about it because this is an already established relationship. But because it was long distance before page one, I feel like we have all those new couple discoveries still. It makes it interesting still. For cozy markers at the midpoint, setting and small town charm works for me. I think it's a 4. We really feel the mountain, and there is thing about Kiant and the magic that is or is not there. That is interesting. The fan family and community aspect, I wasn't expecting much, but this is shaping great. I think it's 3.54 at the moment. Stakes, this is the big, big, big dark cloud. This was pretty low when it started, and now we are steadily getting higher and higher. And I think we're getting a bad score here of like a 2. I am worried we're going to end like with a 0 here. Comfort. Comfort has been great. Like, I do enjoy the renovation part. This is for me very comforting and very pleasing to read about. But now that we are getting the shop opens, we are talking more about the tea blending and a bit about the books and what books means to people. And this is really nice. Also, Kian really loves plants. There is this aspect that I wasn't expecting coming into this book that is really nice to see. I am cautiously optimistic with this book at the moment. I just finished Can't Spell Treason Without Tea by Rebecca Thorne, and I gave it 3 stars. What worked for me were the early part of the book with the renovation, opening the shop arc. I realized that I really do enjoy the process of opening said shop. I do like the shop life, but renovating, like building and seeing something that has been pretty much dead, like relive, is something that I really, really enjoy somewhat. I was a bit on the fence about the romance before starting it because I was a bit scared of already established relationship. But the fact that the relationship was long distance before and they only seen each other a handful of times in the 2 years they've been together, it still feels like a fresh romance. That just the part that they know they want to try to be together and build something together that is already done. If you're familiar with fan fiction, there is multiple scenes that screams hurt comfort tag. Like, one of the characters is getting hurt, and you see the scene where the other characters of the book are taking care of them. And that was just funny, but it really felt fan fictiony for me. What didn't land for me? The stakes ended up much higher than what I wanted. And unfortunately, I think because this is sold as cozy fantasy, you know that nothing bad is going to happen to the characters. And so nothing is believable. You know that, yeah, they are risking their life or something big happens. And you're like, yeah, but in the end, everything is going to be fine. And it feels unrealistic and it just fizzes out and I lose any kind of interest. How did it score? Setting and small town charm, it's a 5 out of 5. The shop, the mountain town feels lived in, you have characters, you have the whole system is really, really enjoyable. The fan family and community aspect is also 5. You learn about her neighbors. They have then their neighbors becomes their new friends and their new family. And there is a network that forms by the end or where people help with the shop and everyone participates. And this part is amazing. The stakes, it's a 1 because like the previous jobs create threats that escalates very high in the end. But like I said, not really believable because this is a cozy fantasy. Comfort is a 4 We've got the tea and the books and plans. Not as pushed and maybe I wanted it, but still very, very satisfying. This is an encouraging 3 stars. I have still a bit of time today, so I will pick up my next read. My next read is Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. This is technically a bit cheating. This is not cozy fantasy, this is cozy sci-fi, but hear me out. This is a novella about robots that have been abandoned and they decide to open a noodle shop by themselves for the humans. And they just want to run their little shop and be left alone. I don't know about you, but I am really looking forward to this. We are in the future, near future in San Francisco, and there is like a big threat with Deliveroo Uber Eats ranking. And that's what the big conflict is going to be about. And I think this is amazing. Like, this is exactly the kind of stakes that I am really looking for. Prediction for the markers. Setting in small town charm. I think this is going to be low because we are in San Francisco. This is a big city, so the small town feeling is not going to be there. The book is going to score low in this marker. Found family and community, I do expect it to be high. I think the found family with the bots is going to be amazing. Community aspect, I don't know, but I hope it works. Stakes, from what I read from the synopsis, I think the stakes are going to be like a 4 or 5, which means pretty low. I think they're going to be mostly about the reviews, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy this. Comfort. I hope we talk about the food. I don't know about this one. I think it's pretty middle. I think we're going to talk about the food, but how much? Because this is a novella, you can't extend to infinity. We'll see. I don't think I will do a 50% check-in for this one because this is a novella and this is quite short. So let's see you when I'm finished. I finished Automatic Noodle by Annalee Newitz. And this is a 5-star. This is a 5-star. This is probably my favorite sci-fi this year. We really have a cozy near future shop story. Like, the bots really want to open this noodle bar with authentic Chinese noodle, and this was just such a hoot. I don't want to spoil anything because this is amazing. This is 160 pages. So if you want to read something quick that fits all the boxes for cozy fantasy, but somehow is sci-fi, that's just run. Pick it up. The community aspect was very interesting to me. They were in this random store, and at first they just want to survive. They want to pay like robot rent, and that's it. They slowly start to want to make the food, and they are very precious about it because they don't want to do like everything and nothing and just push out food. They really want to do like this authentic noodle they heard about, and this is very heartwarming. Also, cover, if you know, you know. Like, when you read it, like, comes back and tell me that this isn't the perfect cover, like, this warms me so much that there was so much care put into the cover of the book that fits something that happens in the book, and that is such a neat detail. The stakes were amazing. They never felt like this was this all-ending catastrophe. They always had a new thing to try and make things better, and the fact that the biggest threat wasn't world ending, it was amazing. Like, you felt the tension and you were rooting for the robots, but you weren't like worried in any kind of way. If anything, you were pissed about the situation. This is the perfect stakes ratio that you can hope for in cozy fantasy. Also, on the community aspect, more and more, the restaurant becomes something bigger for the community in the book, and this is just wholesome. My ranking for the markers, setting and small town charm. This is crazy because I'm going to give 4. I didn't feel like it was big city at all because it felt like this neighborhood was truly a city by themselves, and seeing like this neighborhood bubble being created at the same time that the shop, it was very great. Fun family and community aspect is a 5. You have the fun family aspect with the robots kitchen and the locals and the patrons. This was amazingly done. The stakes are 4. We are not like there is no tension, there is no plot, but this was so well done. You never felt the pressure, the tension. You were rooting for them, and you knew in the end everything was going to be fine. And yeah, it was amazing done. Comfort is maybe only 3. We talk about crafting and food taste, but this is not prominent. We also get a bit of a glimpse of painting and decorating, and this is a great idea, but this wasn't developed that much. And because this is a novella, they didn't have the time to make it a bigger thing. I'm ready to pick up the 4th book in this reading log, and I'm very excited about this one. I don't have it on me because I have another book version for this, but this is the sequel of Legend and Latte, which is Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree. It has been released yesterday, but I had to finish my previous books before starting this one. So I'm very, very excited by this one. I have not read a lot of the synopsis. I don't want to get spoiled too much. Let me tell you what I know about. We're following this time Thorne. We saw Thorne in Bookshops and Bondust, which is the prequel to Legends and Lattes. She is a Ratkin bookseller, and she is going to move to Tune to open a new bookshop that is going to be right next to Legends and Lattes. That's what I know. I am really happy about this plot. I do expect huge renovation, fixes everything plan that maybe doesn't work, because there is something about for not being happy with a life. I think there is going to be something like it's not because you change town and you have a new job that is instant happiness. But I do expect Fern and Viv friendship to shine, maybe like rekindle, because I think they have not seen each other in a long time. I think the story will be centered on the bookshop. Maybe uh, she doesn't want to do only books, and there is going to be a little twist, and maybe she's going to sell tea with the books. I don't know, but I'm very excited for the prediction on the cozy markers. Setting and small town charm, I think it's going to be a 5. We have already seen the town. We know some of the characters that are returning. So this is pretty much going to be the highest ranking. Fan, family, and community is going to pair well with the setting and the small town. Um, I think it's going to be very high too. The stakes, I don't think they're going to be very high. This is not the genre of this series, and I don't want to. I want this to be like no stakes, just enjoying the bookshop and selling books and everything like that. So I hope there is no big stakes coming in. Comfort. I think Travis Baldree is very good at describing food and drinks, and I hope he does a well job with the bookshop too. So I am very anticipating it to be very high. Okay, guys, we need to talk. This is the 50% check-in. Like, I have not even removed my filming station here, and I just started reading the book because I was so excited. And oh my god, I went in expecting Thorne was going to settle into tune and open a cute bookshop. This is not the book I am reading at all. Like, this is not even a spoiler. That's me not even scrolling far enough in the synopsis to know about this. So I'm probably the one to blame. But if you're like me, not a cute bookshop story at all. Not a cute small town story at all. I was very surprised. This is very much more a travel adventure story than a small town cozy vibe. We are just wandering, buying books, drinking tea kind of stuff. There is a lot of movement. You hear about new places all the time. You have problems on the road, like bloody problems on the road. I don't hate it for now. I'm 50% in. But I'm so disappointed because I'm not getting the story I hope I was getting. I wanted the shop and yummy food and slice of life and never nothing happens. And that was what made me love this world. And I picked this book for this flavor and I'm not feeling it right now. I have to adjust my markers and this is going to hurt. Setting a small town charm is a 0 because we are traveling and we change places all the time. Fun, family, and community. I guess we can give a 1 to be generous because we are in a party, traveling in a party. So I guess we gave it a 1. Stakes is a 0. The stakes are much higher than anything cozy fantasy expect you to. And comfort is 0 because we don't have hobbies, we don't have food, we don't have anything. So yeah, I'm a bit mad, to be honest. This was one of the book I was expecting so much in the cozy fantasy, and I was like, I planned this whole video around this book, saying that even though I didn't like any of the others, this one I was pretty sure it was gonna be a hit. So why is it going to be the only one I didn't? I'm going to rush through this one. This is a very easy read. The audiobook is great. I will tell you my final thoughts once I'm done. I finished Brigands and Breadknives by Travis Baldree, and I give it 2.5. I picked this book for the legend and lattes, coziness, small town, shop life, pastries, recipes, everything that made Legend and Lattes what it is. And instead, I got a traveling adventure with a Dungeon and Dragon party type. And Fern, our main character, having an existential spiral. Honestly, thinking about it, I think maybe this book didn't need to be in the same world as Legend and Lattice. That could have been new characters and a new story, where it's like cozy ish adventure fantasy. Dungeon and Dragon adventure fantasy. Woohoo, haha, this is funny, but not too big of a stake. Here, I feel like it uses the Legend and Latin name, and so I had big expectation on the comfort part, and it doesn't even meet because this is not the same story, this is not the same setup. I am so disappointed. It's not a bad book, but this is not the thing I wanted. This is not the thing I wanted to read. We don't get a lot of coziness. This is not really cozy. There is too much adventure. We move all the time. There is no shop. Also, like, I wanted a shop. Like, I think cozy fantasy for me, you really need to have a shop. If you don't, I'm not on board. And I think it's more important that you have to renovate the shop. Like, having this whole video about, I realized this is an important part. This is the part I enjoy the most. I felt like Legend and Lattes was so good at describing the foods and describing the coffees. And here, because this is not the story at all, we don't get any of this, and I feel like I feel cheated. I wanted the pastries and I wanted the drinks and all the description that makes me want to eat and drink them. This is one of my biggest disappointment of the year, I think, because it's not even that it is a bad book. It's more that compared to the expectation, it's so different that I could not enjoy it. Let's go for the markers. Setting and small town charm is a 0. We are travel, travel, and more travel. Fun, family, and community. I'll be generous and give it a 2 because the D&D party really looks like a little fun family in the end. You have an elf, you have a ratkin, you have a goblin. The goblin also was on a novella, if I'm not wrong. All of the returning characters feel a bit fun family, but not much. And community aspect, not at all. Stakes, I give it a 2. There is more danger and more fight than I would like for my cozy fantasy. And comfort is a 0. There is no decompression hobbies like food, drinks, nothing that I could enjoy. I don't want to end the video with such a bad reading book. So I'll reset, and tomorrow I'll pick up my final one. New day, new book, and I hope for a better outcome than the last one. I'll be reading A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandanna. This is a book I've been waiting for a long time. The release date has been pushed and pushed. This one is about Sarah Swan, who was one of the most powerful witch in Britain, and she breaks a rule. And this is a big rule because she does resurrect our great aunt Jasmine. She loses most of her magic by doing so. She is exiled from the British Guild of Sorcery and now is an innkeeper for a little country inn that draws people and needs rest. There is apparently a talking fox, quirky guest, and I am excited about this one. I've read her other book about witches and really enjoyed it. I thought that she does kids very well. I'm excited about this one. So, setting a small town, we are in a country inn, so I feel like it's going to be pretty isolated. So, not small town, but the setting is going to be very cozy. So, still high. Fun, family, and community. I expect this to be 5. I feel like the inn is going to have all those characters that are just feeling like family. And stakes, I don't think they're going to be very high because she doesn't have a lot of magic anymore. And comfort, I don't know what I expect about comfort. I don't think she does all those food description, but we'll see. Midpoint checking for Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I have not a lot to say. I am enjoying like the vibe so far. It's warm, it's gentle, and still funny. The inn just have this like cozy warm hug feeling. Um, the real good part about this book is the fan family aspect. Every character that steps in this inn becomes a part of the family, and this is so heartwarming, and they are all so special. I'm really enjoying this right now. Also, I feel like Sangu Mandana really shines when she writes about children. I did not know there were going to be children in this story, but the 2 that are here are absolutely precious and make so many great moments. Let's make an updated prediction about the markers. Setting and small town vibe, I feel like this is a 4. We don't have the small town setting, but the inn feels like its own little bubble, and it's really like this warm little cozy bubble that you're in. The fun family and community aspect is a 5. It could be like 1,000. Fun family is the biggest charm of this book. The stakes, we are like a 3 or 4. This is not big stakes at the moment. Like, this would feel big for our main character, Sarah. But for us, we don't feel like it's big stakes. Comfort. Comfort is very weird because we talk a bit about food, but not really. Really, what makes the comfort is the little spell to repair the inn, the fact that we have a talking villain fox, and we have also the best Ruru, the undead rooster. That's the comfort part, and it's done very well. I would give it like a 4. It made me realize that this doesn't need to be a hobby or an activity that is comforting. Sometimes the magic can be too. And here it's a good example. I finished A Witch Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandanna and gave it 4 stars. This was really enjoyable read. It was really what I needed. I think I've said much of what I can in the 50% check-in, but there is something about Sangu Mandanna writing children that she does very well. The found family aspect is amazing. In this book, really, truly amazing. This is not a 5 stars because in the end, I lost a bit of interest when the stakes started getting a bit higher. I wasn't that much interested. I was very much more interested in the day-to-day at the inn than the storyline. It was very fun read. The final markers for setting and small town charm, I give it a 4. We don't see a lot of the small town, but the feeling you get from the inn is very great. The fact that the building is in need of reparation all the time, the garden and everything. This is a really great. The found family and community is 5. If I could give infinite, it would be infinite. This is the best found family in all the books I've read this week. The children's are amazing. The adults are amazing. The old peoples are amazing. Everything is great. And this is good because the 2 main characters are a bit more sad and stern that you would like in a cozy fantasy, but it works so well with the rest of the house that it's fairly great. The stakes, I would give it a 3.5. This is crazy because this is the only time that it happened. The stakes get a bit high, but you never feel the stress of it. You never feel the tension. Contrary to others where the stakes are low, but you really feel it. This one, the stakes get higher, but you don't really feel them. Comfort is a 2. I don't really think that you get the comfort. Like, comfort is more about the little whimsical magic than it is about comforting things. The comfort comes for Ruru, the undead rooster, from the fact that we have a talking fox that is a villain. Those kind of things are what makes the book comforting, but not the arcs and not the food and not the hobbies that we expect in cozy fantasy. So, did I find what I like in cozy fantasy and what is important to me? I think so. I think I need found family and community, and I need a shop. I think this is what we can. They need to have some kind of shop or hotel that works too. And they need to renovate it. Like, this is very important for me. But I hope that my markers helped you. And if you have any recommendation for cozy fantasy, give them to me in the comments. I will be happy to try them. Have a nice day and see you next time.